Before the world gets loud, before the notifications hit, before the noise pulls you into 1,000 pieces, you take this moment. This is your ground zero. This is your command center. This is the space where warriors are made, in silence, before sunrise, when most are still sleeping in their excuses. You don't just wake up. You rise with reason. Because how you begin your day shapes how you live your life. You want power? You want purpose? Then you own your morning. You don't wake up by accident. You wake up on a mission. You're not here to coast. You're not here to drift. You're not here to snooze through your own potential. You're here to dominate the day before it dominates you. And domination doesn't start with noise. It starts with discipline. Before the phone, before the inbox, before the drama, you move. You breathe. You align with purpose. Because you're not waking up just to survive. You're waking up to build something no one can take from you. Habits aren't tasks. They're identity signals. Brushing your teeth isn't just hygiene. It's a ritual of self-respect. Making your bed isn't about order. It's a declaration. I don't leave things undone. Journaling, reading, writing, training. These aren't chores. They're character stamps. They say, I move with intention. I don't drift with the weak. I am the kind of person who shows up for myself daily. Small habits, massive ripple. Because when the first hour of your day is controlled, the rest of your life starts falling in line. You have two options: create the day or be controlled by it. Most people wake up and give their mind away. To likes, to headlines, to chaos. But not you. You wake up and you decide who leads. You don't react. You design. You write your priorities. You set your tone. You prime your focus. Because once the day gets going, the weak fall to distraction. But the disciplined, they ride the rhythm they built before the world woke up. You don't need motivation. You need movement. Don't wait for the feeling. Create it. You don't feel like getting up? Get up anyway. You don't feel like writing? Write one sentence. You don't feel like training? Move your body for 2 minutes. Because motion beats mood. Action beats anxiety. Progress builds purpose. Discipline isn't about intensity, it's about direction. It's not about hype. It's about the decision to begin. And once you begin, the engine starts. You don't wait for motivation. You become the reason it exists. Your future self is watching what you do this morning. Forget the crowd. Forget the followers. Forget who's watching or who isn't. Because one person is always watching, your future self. And they're hoping, begging, that today is the day you stop breaking promises. Today is the day you show up without excuses. Today is the day you finally move like the person you keep dreaming about. They're out there. Stronger, wiser, clearer. And you meet them by earning it here. Now, in this hour, closing day one or one day, every single morning, you're at a fork in the road. You can wait for the right time. Or you can make this the time. You can drift into reaction. Or rise into rhythm. You can be the victim of the day. Or the author of it. So breathe in. Lock in. And say it with me out loud if you have to. This is my day. This is my move. And this is how I rise. Because it doesn't matter what yesterday looked like. It doesn't matter what the world expects. What matters is what you do with the next hour. And if you begin it right, you can rewrite everything. Your mind is the battlefield. Your thoughts are the front line. And every morning, before your feet hit the floor, you've already chosen a side. You either rise as a warrior of intention, or you crawl out as a servant of chaos. So here's the truth you need to breathe in. You don't control the world, but you damn well control your mind. And if you can conquer your mind before breakfast, the rest of the day doesn't stand a chance. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who commands them. Doubt will show up. Fear will whisper. Excuses will circle like vultures. But you are not your fear. You are not your excuses. You are not your hesitation. You are the one who sees them. You are the one who commands them. Because your mind is not a cage. It's a command center. And the more you train it to respond, the less it reacts. You train it by repeating truth. You train it by showing up even when it's hard. You train it by doing the thing your weakness told you not to do. And every time you do that, you reclaim another piece of your power. Feed your mind before the world poisons it. Before you open your feed, open your focus. Before you check what they're doing, check in with what you're becoming. Read, pray, meditate, affirm, reflect, write. Do something for your inner world before you let the outer world invade it. Because your mind is fertile ground, and it will grow whatever you plant first. So don't plant chaos. Don't plant comparison. Don't plant noise. Plant clarity. Plant gratitude. Plant purpose. And watch what grows. You are not behind. You are in position. Some days you wake up and feel like you're falling behind. Like you're running out of time. Like everyone else has it figured out but you. Let that go. Comparison is a lie dressed in urgency. You are not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Learning, refining, becoming. You're not late. You're loading. And while they're racing blindly, you're preparing strategically. You don't need speed. You need stability. And you're building it. Right now. The world isn't waiting, and that's good. You need to hear this. The world doesn't slow down for you. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It doesn't care if you're tired. And that's not bad news. That's freedom. Because if the world isn't waiting, then you don't have to either. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for support. You don't wait for motivation. You go anyway. You make your own rhythm. You make your own momentum. You make your own arrival. This is how legends move. Like they belong in the room before they're invited. Your mind believes what you do most. You can't think your way into confidence. You build it. You can't wish your way into discipline. You prove it with repetition. Every time you delay, you teach your brain that hesitation is safe. Every time you move, you teach your brain that action is natural. That's what mindset really is. Not just beliefs, but behavioral repetition. So if you want a new mindset, start with new movements. One win, then another, until your brain finally says, "This is who we are now." Closing. You don't just think powerfully, you live powerfully. This is your mind, your weapon, your war drum. Don't let it be ruled by doubt. Don't let it drift into noise. You wake up and sharpen it like steel. You speak truth before lies arrive. You act before excuses take root. You train your thoughts like a soldier trains for war. Because every day, the first battle is in your head. And the ones who win that battle don't lose the day. The mind is the command, but the body is the engine. And you don't drive a race car on low fuel. You don't climb mountains with a weak foundation. You don't conquer your goals in a body you've been neglecting. So when the sun rises, so does your discipline. And it moves through your limbs. Not just to look good, but to feel unstoppable. Movement creates momentum. You don't need a 2-hour gym session. You don't need a perfect workout plan. You need motion. Move your body. Stretch, sweat, jump, breathe. Because motion is a signal to the brain. We are alive. We are ready. We are in command. Even 5 minutes. Even one set. Even a walk outside with your chin held high. You don't wait to feel strong. You move until you remember you are. Energy is not found. It is created. You say you're tired? That's fine. But tired isn't permanent. And energy isn't magic. It's not something you wait for. It's something you build with effort. You breathe deeper. You drink the water. You move your body. You fuel with intent. You rest with discipline. Your body is not your enemy. It's your ally. And when you treat it like a temple, it becomes a power plant. So if you're looking for energy, stop searching. Start generating. The body responds to leadership, and you are the leader. You are not your cravings. You are not your fatigue. You are not your excuses. You are the leader of this body. It obeys what you repeat. You train it by showing up. You feed it by prioritizing performance. You sharpen it by pushing when it begs to stop. Because you're not just building a body. You're building a vehicle of impact. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be ready. Every day. Every time. Rest is not escape, it is strategy. Let's be clear. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. Exhaustion isn't proof of commitment. Rest matters. But only when it's earned. Only when it's structured. Only when it feeds the next wave. You don't rest to hide. You rest to reload. Because if your body breaks down, your mission halts. And we don't pause for comfort. We pause to become more lethal tomorrow. This is recovery with intention. This is rest with a purpose. What you do with your body each morning sets your standards for the day. You've heard it before. Win the morning, win the day. But what does that mean? It means if you demand excellence from your body first, the rest of your life falls into that pattern. You move early. You eat clean. You hydrate. You stretch. You breathe like you're preparing for war. And suddenly, the rest of your decisions start to match that rhythm. Your standards rise. Your tolerance for excuses vanishes. You don't accept weakness because you've already trained strength into your muscles. That's not fitness. That's leadership of self. Closing. You don't have to master everything. Just master movement. You don't need to do it all today. You don't need to build the perfect body overnight. You just need to show up in motion. Because the one who moves early moves with power. And when you move your body with discipline, you train your life to follow its lead. So don't stay still. Don't start your day frozen. Start it fired up. Start it moving. Start it like the engine you are. Because motion is how warriors wake up. There is something inside you. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't back down. It doesn't care how tired you are. It's not here for applause. It's not here for comfort. It's here for impact. It's your purpose. And it's the real reason you get up in the morning. Before the goals. Before the schedule. Before the phone. There's a reason you move. And if you forget that, the world will eat your discipline alive. Goals without purpose are just tasks in costume. A to-do list without vision is just busy work. A morning routine without meaning is just noise. You're not here to look productive. You're here to build a legacy. So ask yourself, why am I doing this? Who is this for? What does this lead to? Because if your mornings don't connect to a bigger vision, your discipline will crumble the moment you don't feel like it. But if you anchor your habits in purpose, they become unbreakable. Purpose turns pain into power. You're going to struggle. You're going to want to quit. There will be days when the world weighs more than you thought you could carry. But when you move with purpose, the weight becomes a weapon. Because pain with no purpose breaks people. But pain anchored in vision, that forges monsters. You're not afraid of hard days anymore. Because you know why you're here. And when you know why, you don't stop. Remind yourself daily why it matters. Every single morning, repeat your why. Write it. Speak it. Feel it. Don't let it fade into the background. Let it burn. Because the world will try to distract you. Life will pull you in 100 directions. But your why is the compass. Your why is the fire. Your why is the thing that makes sure you don't settle for average. So when your feet hit the ground, walk like you're answering to it. Every day you live without purpose is a day stolen from your future. Think about it. Every distracted, reactive, thoughtless day is a day you can't get back. That's time you could have used to write the book, to build the business, to create the body, to become the leader your family, your circle, your future self is waiting for. And no, it doesn't have to be perfect. But it does have to be intentional. Because drifting through your day is not a break. It's a betrayal. You don't find purpose. You decide it. Waiting for clarity? Stop. Purpose isn't found like treasure. It's forged like steel. It comes from deciding what matters and then living like it does. It comes from showing up day after day until the reason becomes real. You don't wait for lightning. You strike the match. And if you don't know where to start here. Who do you want to help? What problem pisses you off? What kind of example do you want to be? The answers are already in you. Don't chase purpose. Choose it. If you don't know why you're moving, you'll always stop too soon. This is the moment that separates the tired from the driven, the disciplined from the distracted, the successful from the stuck. Why are you doing this? Say it out loud. Write it down. Burn it into the front of your thoughts every morning. Because you're not here to drift. You're not here to dabble. You're not here to figure it out someday. You're here to move with meaning, to live like it matters. And when your purpose is clear, so is your power. Motivation will leave you. Hype will fade. Excitement will vanish. But discipline stays. Discipline remains. Because greatness isn't built in the grand moments. It's built in the small, boring, invisible ones. The ones no one posts about. The ones no one applauds. Consistency is the difference between almost and always. You don't have to be extreme, just unbreakable. Stop chasing 100% days. Chase 100-day streaks. Chase unbroken chains. Chase that quiet voice inside you that says, I might not be perfect today, but I won't disappear. You don't have to crush every workout. You don't have to write a novel in one sitting. You don't have to be a machine. But you do have to keep showing up. Because results don't come from intensity. They come from continuity. Do it. Even when you don't feel like it. Especially then. That's the test. Not how you move when it's easy, but how you show up when it's not. Tired? Do it tired. Busy? Make time. Uninspired? Move anyway. Because the real ones don't let feelings lead. They let standards lead. And once you've chosen discipline, you no longer need to wait for the mood. You've already decided, I do this. And that's enough. Keep the promise, no matter how small. Every time you show up, you tell your mind, I'm the kind of person who finishes. I'm the kind of person who follows through. I'm not waiting for the stars to align. I am the alignment. And it doesn't have to be huge. One paragraph, one push-up, one task. Because every time you keep that promise, you build self-respect. And that's the most powerful fuel there is. Consistency stacks, and eventually, it snaps. Think of it like a scale. One day, then another, then another. It may not look like it's moving, but then one morning, you look up, and the momentum is unstoppable. You don't have to try anymore, it's habit. You don't hesitate anymore, it's instinct. You don't doubt anymore, it's proof. That's what consistency does. It stacks until it snaps into greatness. When it feels boring, you're doing it right. Here's the truth no one wants to say. Success is boring. It's repetition. It's routine. It's unsexy. It's the same movement, over and over. until the world finally notices. But by then, you don't need the world to clap, because the act of doing it daily already made you great. You stopped chasing dopamine and started chasing dominance. That's not boring. That's mastery. Closing. Consistency isn't glorious, it's gloriously effective. You want to be legendary? Be consistent. You want to separate from 99% of people? Outlast them. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the loudest. You just have to be the one who doesn't disappear. Because in the end, the most dangerous person in the room isn't the most talented babe. It's the one who never stops swinging. And that person is you now. The world is loud. Your phone, your feed, your inbox, they scream for your attention. Every headline is a hook. Every ping is a pull. But you weren't built to be a puppet. You were built to be a pillar. And if you want to rise with power, you must protect your peace like it's sacred. Because it is. Distraction is the new addiction. Let's be real. You don't need more motivation. You need less mental noise. Because every time you scroll, you teach your brain to crave chaos. Every time you react, you teach your soul that you're not in control. But you are. And every time you resist the pull, you reclaim a piece of your mind. You don't owe your attention to everything. You don't owe your energy to everyone. You are not a screen. You are a weapon. Treat yourself like one. The most focused people feel boring. That's why they win. It's not glamorous to unplug. It's not thrilling to say no. It doesn't trend to say, I'll get back to you after I've done my real work. But that's where the giants are born. In the silence. In the no's. In the disconnection from distraction. Because peace doesn't come from escaping. It comes from building boundaries. And boundaries are not weakness. They are self-respect in action. Peace is a product of priorities. You don't find peace by doing less. You find it by doing what matters most. It's not about emptier schedules. It's about clearer focus. Ask yourself, what drains me? What feeds me? What am I saying yes to out of guilt? What am I ignoring out of fear? Then cut what's stealing your strength. And double down on what makes you unshakable. Because peace isn't passive. Peace is strategic. You don't need to prove your availability. You need to protect your capacity. You don't need to answer every message. You don't need to be in every conversation. You don't need to explain why you're focused. You're not here to be available. You're here to be unbreakable. Let them wonder. Let them call you distant. Let them say you're different. Because you are. You're not distracted. You're dialed in. And they won't understand it until they see what you've built from that silence. Solitude isn't lonely. It's a strategy. Some days you'll feel isolated. Like no one gets it. Like no one's walking this path with you. That's okay. Solitude is not absence. It's amplification. It sharpens your vision. It filters your thoughts. It reminds you that your power doesn't come from noise, it comes from knowing who you are without it. So don't fear the quiet. Use it like a blade. Closing. Protect your peace or pay the price. You've done the work. You've built the habits. You've found the focus. Now guard it like gold. Because the world doesn't care about your vision. It cares about your clicks. But you care about your becoming. So protect your mornings. Protect your time. Protect your mindset like your mission depends on it. Because it does. You're not just staying focused. You're staying free. You've heard the noise. You've done the work. You've felt the pull of distraction, and you chose discipline instead. Now it's time to lead. Not others. Yourself. Because the hardest person to lead is the one in the mirror. And once you master that, there is nothing you can't build. The strongest leaders wake up with standards, not feelings. You don't rise out of bed asking, how do I feel? You rise asking, What needs to be done? That's leadership. That's how empires are built. One morning at a time. You don't need a crowd to move. You don't need motivation to act. You don't need perfection to begin. You need a standard, a non-negotiable expectation for yourself. That doesn't flinch no matter how the day tries to shake you. You don't lead by force. You lead by example. Leadership isn't loud. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't beg for agreement. It simply moves with consistency. You lead yourself by showing up before you're ready, keeping your word to yourself, moving with power even when no one is watching, because someone's always watching. Your future self, your legacy, the younger version of you who needs proof that this life can be more. So lead them, show them, be the proof. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you cut corners in the little things, you will bleed potential in the big ones. You leave your bed messy, you carry that chaos. You skip your routine, you skip part of your power. You ignore your mission, you wake up empty. But when you move with intention, everything aligns. The way you do the morning becomes the way you do the mission. So choose excellence, even in the smallest tasks, especially in the ones no one sees, because that's where integrity is born. Self-leadership is self-mastery in motion. You don't master yourself once. You master yourself every morning. With each choice, each decision, each time you do what you said you'd do, especially when it's hard. Mastery doesn't show up with a bang. It builds quietly, in the dark, in the routine, in the repetition no one wants but everyone needs. You don't become elite by accident. You earn it. Who you are in the first hour is who you become the rest of the day. This is your moment. This is your rhythm. This is the hour when warriors shape the world. So speak to yourself with truth. Move with intention. Lead with fire. Say it to yourself. I don't wait to be pushed, I lead myself. I don't delay, I deliver. I don't follow feelings, I follow through. I lead myself because no one else can do this for me. Closing. This is who you are now. You are the vision. You are the weapon. You are the leader of your own story. Every single day, you step forward. Not because it's easy, but because you refuse to live as less than what you were made to be. You rise. You move. You execute. And the world? It doesn't define your rhythm anymore. You do. Before the world wakes up. Before the noise begins. Before the pressure builds. You stand still. You inhale. You lock in. And you remember, today is mine. I don't need to feel ready. I am ready. Because I've trained for this. Because I refuse to live a half-built life. Because I'm not here to exist, I'm here to execute. I don't need motivation. I don't need permission. I don't need a crowd, a camera, or a green light. I am the switch. I am the signal. I am the spark. Today, I don't chase results. I chase standards. My habits are sharp. My focus is lethal. My energy is mine and it's protected. I don't react to the world. I command my part in it. I don't ask, what if I fail? I say, what if I don't show up today, and everything I could have built dies in my hands? Because every morning I delay is a day my future has to pay. Not anymore. I am not my doubts. I am not my past. I am not my fears. I am the sum of my daily decisions. And today, I decide to move like I mean it. I decide to wake up like I'm needed. To work like it matters. To show up like the future is watching. Because it is. This day doesn't belong to chaos. It belongs to me. I don't surrender to emotion. I lead with intention. I don't follow distraction. I follow discipline. I don't drift. I drive. So hear me clearly. No more wasted mornings. No more wishful thinking. No more, maybe tomorrow. It's today. It's now. And I'm all in. Carry the fire. This isn't hype. This is a ritual. Every morning, you return to this fire. You sharpen the mind. You fuel the body. You anchor the purpose. You silence the noise. You lead yourself. Because if you can win the morning, you can win the day. And if you do that enough, you win your life. Now go. Move. Execute. Finish. This day is yours.